We're alive.
We're alive.
Okay, so the Xbox Showcase was the best showcase of the year.
Oh, I give it full hands down.
I give it a 10 out of 10.
I give it a 9 out of 10. And the reason is because of the DEI quality crap where Joanna Dark from Perfect Dark looks more like a man with that jawline.
A little bit, yeah. Well, Fable
Fable
looks like a guy, yeah. But
yeah.
At this point, that doesn't bother me because the showcase was just so incredible. Like, it was just, you had so many banger announcements after announcements. With Fable, we actually got some gameplay showings instead of just a CG trailer. We got to see some gameplay with Avowed and got a release date with Avowed, or not an official release date, but a release window.
A release window, yep.
There was a really bad Guardians of the Galaxy trailer for Dragon Age, but at least we got something with Dragon Age, even though it was terrible. It was very Guardians of the Galaxy-esque. It was very.
Was that
really.
Fortnite? Was that
Yeah,
like a Fortnite
and
crossover?
it was an entertaining trailer. It was cool to see Dragon Age back, but it looked like Fortnite. Yeah, it looked like what's that game EA loves so much? Apex Legends. It was like Apex Legends. Yeah.
No, Apex Legends is a little bit darker than that.
No,
That
but
looked like cartoonish
that's what it looked like. It
Black
looked like
Ops.
Apex Legends with all the colors and the happy, wacky characters and all that. Like,
Listen, I already know what game I'm putting on my ignore list.
but the actual gameplay was great for Dragon Age. The actual gameplay was good because Dragon Age showed the gameplay on Tuesday and it looked really, really good. It looked really, really good.
I don't know. The way the colors pop up, it doesn't look anything.
No, it was a lot darker. No, it actually looked like Dragon Age. It was a lot darker. Because that was a weird thing. Like, the gameplay actually looks like Dragon Age, while that trailer was complete bullshit. I don't know why they would put out a trailer like that, but it killed a lot of, like, hype, and then the gameplay came out and everybody loved the gameplay.
Well, right now the person that was in charge that announced it about being gender queerness, whatever.
The game director.
The game director.
Yeah.
Is currently hiding. They removed all the pronouns, all their bio stuff, all the working with.
Well, that was unnecessary backlash because the gameplay actually looks really, really good.
In the heat of things in the moment.
I'm not loving the whole action RPG thing, which was what they went with Dragon Age Inquisition, but the turn-based stuff is where you can like pause and pick a certain magical ability you want to do, and that looks pretty good. That did look
That's
good.
about the only best saving grace feature of that trailer. Of the
Yeah.
whole game.
It looked really nice.
I don't really feel too sold on the idea of buying it. Nah, I don't want to.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy it at some point.
So, I do want to ask, that whole Perfect Dark trailer, it looks a lot like Deus Ex Mankind, you know?
Yeah, it looked great. It looked really great. I was looking at it, I was like, what is this? And then it came out, it was Perfect Dark. I'm like, oh my God, this looks amazing. Like, and I love the original Perfect Dark on the N64 with the multiplayer 2 versus 2 or 4 free-for-all. I used to love that game so much. It was such great multiplayer, you know. And Perfect Dark wouldn't have had that multiplayer if it wasn't for GoldenEye being so successful on the N64.
Listen, the true father of all FPS games, FPS multiplayer, GoldenEye.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it is.
Yeah, on the N64.
But
and that was and the studio told them to get rid of the multiplayer aspect, but the studio that made the game went rogue and put it in there anyway. And they got so lucky that it was such a huge success, because if it failed, they would have been out on a job. They would have been gone. They got so lucky it was a success.
No, shit, we don't again. I do want to say that with Perfect Dark, due to the fact that Joanna Dark looks more like a man and less like a woman, I'm not really keen on the idea. I don't know who Brad Dark is, and I don't want to know. Anyways, moving on to
Call of Duty Black Ops 6 was great.
Black Ops 6.
That looks great. I look forward to getting that game.
Though from what I heard,
on Game
the file
Pass.
size was 310 gigabytes.
Well, it's actually 260. The guy said it wasn't 300.
It's still absurd.
I know, it's so absurd.
They don't know how to optimize by condensing the freaking files.
Well, it's because the game modes are expensive, the graphics are expensive, this is expensive with the voice actors. The gigabytes have all gone up big time. So, yeah. Consoles used to have less gigabytes because games 15 years ago had less gigabytes. Now consoles have almost 900 gigabytes to them.
I stick with the older games lately because it's just, I don't have to worry.
They're more fun,
I'm
and you don't have to delete like 5 games to get one game.
Yeah. Though I do want to say that whole what was that? The first Descendant thing. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
For a looter shooter, is what it is. It's a looter shooter. We're tired of those, but that looked pretty cool.
What was the game?
The first Descendant.
Yeah, that was for Sony. That was the PlayStation one.
Excuse me.
No, that wasn't PlayStation. That was for Summer Games Fest. Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. It's free to play. had beautiful music.
Strike that off the record.
Summer Games Fest sucked this year. Very disappointed. But the Xbox Showcase was great. This is the best showcase for this is the best showcase period. This is the best showcase period since 2021. It was the best showcase period since 2021.
Our cheerleader saying hello.
Yeah. That was the best showcase since 2021, like across the board.
No, what was another one? You had Fallout. Fallout had no. Was it Fallout? No. You had Perfect Dark. You had Black Ops 6. Mecha Break, which mind you looks like a really great game. If you're into fast-paced, team-based games, that looks like a lot of fun. If you're into mecha shooters, that looks like a lot of fun. If you're into possibly losing your mind over how fast the screen is flashing, that looks like a lot of fun.
Oh, the Mecha Shooter game?
Mecha
What's it called?
Mecha Break?
Make a Break. Yeah, that looked good. That looked great. That looked great. Fable looked great. Call of Duty 6. Perfect Dark. What was... There was a lot of big... Oh, and Gears, the new Gears game. That was great. And it's a prequel game about the character everybody loves. So that's going to be great. I haven't played a Gears game since like Gears of War 2. I mean, I played 3, but I didn't love it. But the first 2 games were so great. Those are some of the best, most violent games ever created. I love those games a lot.
Brothers in Arms would like a word with you.
Huh?
Brothers in Arms would like a word with you.
Yeah. The 4th game was okay. I can't stick to the 3rd, 4th. I didn't like the 5th game, but the first 2 games I love. So, you know, that was the first Halo a competitor for Halo. That was like the attempt at a Halo killer, and it did very, very well. Like, it didn't defeat Halo at that time because Halo 3 was still incredible, but you know, Gears of War was a great competitor. It was a great alternative to Halo.
Avowed looked promising.
I like the graphics, but I'm worried about like the gameplay and if the story is going to be that tree branching, because we know how great storytelling and tree branching is supposed to be with Baldur's Gate 3. That was incredible. But if you're not on that level, then it's going to be a disappointment because everybody's going to be expecting Baldur's Gate 3 now. That's the thing. Yeah. Yeah. Everyone's going to be expecting Baldur's Gate 3.
Well, I mean, even to this day, it still doesn't feel the same.
Yeah, I mean, Dragon Age Inquisition immediately got outdated because The Witcher 3 came out the following year, and like Dragon Age Inquisition was very much like most of the side quests were fetch quests, but The Witcher 3, its side quests and its fetch quests were so incredibly layered and full of depth and was just amazing in every way. And so it was like,
today's games,
yeah,
they're fetch quests and they hold.
But it's the same with Baldur's Gate 3. A fetch quest could lead into a bigger quest or could lead to a bigger story. So Baldur's Gate 3 was doing what was done in The Witcher 3, which is how games used to do it in the 90s and the 2000s. But these game studios got so lazy because they're like, well, you already got a built-in fan base, so we're going to put out whatever and you're going to sell copies. And that dies out after a while because you're putting out bad product after bad product.
You are nothing but wallets and cash cows. So
Yeah.
Pay up. Like consume.
Okay, so what else are we talking about?
Well, let's see. We're gonna talk about how PlayStation fanboys, PlayStation fans themselves are going nuts about how great the Xbox Steam Showcase
Yeah,
was.
even there, they think it's great.
Yeah,
I've talked to
think it
so
was
many
great.
Sony ponies that were like, you know what? Props, that shit was fire. I talked to so many Sony ponies on Twitter who hate on Xbox or whatever else. Man, they were like, dude, that showcase was incredible because these state of plays and these Sony and PlayStation showcase last year was dog shit. The only thing that saved that showcase last year was Spider-Man 2. That's it. That was the only thing.
Even then, that was underwhelming.
That was it. But here's the thing. That Spider-Man 2 thing could have been just its own thing. That could have been just a state of play. They didn't even show a lot at that time, you know? They didn't have to do that.
No. I do want to mention that on Twitter, on X, excuse me, I'm going to call it by the correct name, on X, formerly known as Twitter, that a lot of PlayStation YouTubers are trying to backtrack on how great the Xbox Game Showcase was, due to the fact that there are a number of games that was going to PlayStation as well.
Yeah. Like Call of Duty. Yeah, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, yeah.
A lot of them are trying to walk back their original rating.
And also Starfield Shattered Space looks pretty good too, but that it does also look like a horror game. Like I mean, it's like an RPG, but the way it was promoted like reminded me of Dead Space, but with RPG mechanics.
Yes.
They look good. That looked great too.
What was that game that was announced that was Silent Hill-esque?
You're talking about the horror game that was announced.
Yes,
Showcase. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, it was like Silent Hill. No. Those were like a lot of horror games made by
No. I'm not talking about the indie horror games. I'm talking about the actual cinematic.
Yeah, but there was one that looked like Silent Hill too. There was like two of them. And the game that I'm thinking of is going to be made by Blumhouse. Blumhouse is getting into games now.
No,
Because
I
they
know.
conquered movies, but now they're getting into games.
I know that part, but it's the one that looks more like Silent Hill, where
Yeah.
you could move your, I guess, consciousness or
Yeah.
something from one person to another.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that looked pretty cool. That looked pretty
That
cool.
looked very cool.
Yeah, that looked really cool. And also, Silent Hill 2 looks good too, but, I don't have a lot of faith in Konami. I'm worried that I'm worried they're going to botch it. I'm worried they're going to botch it.
They went full DER
Really,
trailer.
the best game they've
okay.
come out with was the free-to-play Silent Hill game that you could beat in 3 hours or less. Like that was really good. That was really, really good. But I mean, what they did with Silent Hill Ascension was terrible. And Silent Hill 2, the graphics just look kind of rough. Like there's just something about the graphics and the animation that just don't look next gen. It looks kind of outdated. It doesn't look great. It doesn't look great. I don't know what it is. But yeah, those are my thoughts.
Those are my thoughts as well. I know I didn't really get to speak much. Unfortunately, I'm partly asleep, allergies, and then the other part is me just constantly yawning. I do want to say this though. If this is the path Xbox is going to traverse, hopefully they'll scale back on that DEI thing that removes beautiful
They're not.
women.
They're not.
In that case, Xbox,
They're not changing.
In that case, Xbox,
It's too much money. It's too much money.
I don't understand why. It's very easy. Just
They
make-
get paid well over millions and millions and millions of dollars for that stuff. So they're not just gonna let it go.
I think they should.
That doesn't mean they have to do it for every game, but they're not gonna let that shit
Well,
go.
from what I heard from every Xbox game studio thing, that they don't want any beautiful women. They want androgynous looking characters.
No, they don't do that for the ones they got from Japan. Those studios are fine. The Honkai Star Whale or the Persona 1, 2, and 3.
That's Atlas. That's Sega.
Yeah, I mean, they if you want to put hot chicks in those games, go right ahead. It's their country. Japan can kind of do what they want. So Microsoft isn't going to make them do shit, but in the Western games, yeah, they have more control over that. That's literally their
I'll
jurisdiction.
say this nowadays. I think gaming for the Western.
That doesn't mean they can't shut down a Japanese game studio if they wanted to.
No, of course, but they don't own the Holio, which is a good thing. Neither does Sony, which is another good thing.
They don't follow. Well, they don't make them do anything under their guidelines. And Sony, it's subjective too. It depends on the studio. It depends on the country.
Sony's got full blown California over there.
No, but
Since their headquarters is in California. Anyways.
Yeah, but-
we're derailing the topic.
no, but the chick with the hot chick, they still let her be hot. And they got rid of the sanction dresses. They got rid of the sanction dresses though. They got rid of the sanctions. Okay, fine. All right, y'all have a good night. This is Brian Jason Nerd Talk. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.
You went